Good evening, folks. I've been toying with the idea of doing this video for a while, and it was only after purchasing this over the weekend that I decided to actually record something. Now, this is the GMA T50S from Hot Wheels, and I'm utterly obsessed with the real thing. So this, when I saw it on the pegs, it had to come back with me. It really did. Now, it was only when I got it home that I remembered why I don't buy many Hot Wheels mainlines. Now, this cost me about £2.25, and I'm not really too sure what the exchange rates are at the moment, but yeah, £2.25 I think it was. And yeah, it's okay. It's a Hot Wheels, and I think each and every time I buy a Hot Wheels mainline, I'm reminded that they are toys, and that is starting to grate on me a little bit occasionally, especially when there are more competent competitors out there. We'll get to that in a second, but first of all, I just wanted to point out why I wasn't really entirely impressed with this. Now, in some of my Lamley articles, I've pointed out that the Tampo, the pad applied decals are not the best on Hot Wheels cars. The paint's not the best on them. Now, the paint on this is, well, it's great. It's got a good shine to it, it's got depth to it, but look at the air intakes there on the front. I don't know if you can see that, but they're not anywhere near where they should be. And these just don't look great. And if you start to look a little bit closer, I've been quite critical of Hot Wheels spoilers in the past because they look too clunky. And there's your reason why. It's way too thick. There's detail, but there's not enough detail at the back. And yeah, I feel a little bit let down. This will possibly become something I will swap in the future, but for now I'm just a bit about the whole thing. And especially when, for similar money, £1 or £2 more perhaps, I've been able to pick up things like this. Now, this is the BMW M4 from CCA, which is an offshoot of MSZ, who I've covered in Lamley before, and I actually did a full Lamley feature on this particular diecast. Now, this is off AliExpress, and there are often a lot of offers on AliExpress for diecast, and it's just jump at them when they're there, because you can get things like this for very cheap. And this is a world apart from a Hot Wheels mainline, in my eyes. I mean, the detail on that roof, you've got far better detail on the wheels. You've got I don't know if the camera will be able to pick it up there. Gonna have to move it closer, but you've got painted exhaust tips. Good decal work at the back for the lights. Again, for the front, there's far more detail in that than a Hot Wheels mainline, and it's got suspension, and it was about the same price. I just don't understand sometimes why anyone would knock this kind of thing over a Mattel car. And speaking of Chinese diecasts, another brand that I discovered recently, TSC, and this Aston Martin Valkyrie is just phenomenal. Again, I think this was on an offer on AliExpress, but their usual price is a little bit more than a Hot Wheels mainline. You're talking about £6 to £7, but if you take into account the fact that some sellers on eBay, especially in Great Britain, are prone to taking Hot Wheels mainlines off the pegs and selling them for about £6 or £7 on eBay, without postage as well. But something like this, I mean, speaking of spoiler work on the on the GMA, the Hot Wheels car, the difference between that and this, and look at the underbody detail on this. And there's a screw-on base, like there is on the MSZ car, if any customizers or wheel swappers want to get in there. It's just a far more attractive package to me. And we'll look at another car from their range, which is this, the V12 Vantage. And again, it's just a world apart, I think, from a Hot Wheels mainline. And again, it's just, yeah. These don't have suspension like the MSZ cars, but they do have threaded rubber tyres. And yeah, clear light lenses. Decals where they should be. Spoilers that don't look like they are 6 feet thick. This is, to me, a far better miniature than quite a lot of things that Hot Wheels is putting out right now. And with both those cars, the CCA and TSC, you get display boxes. They might have Chinese writing on them, but yeah, they look cool. So yeah, especially if you're unlucky enough in the UK to live near WH Smith and are paying this much for one of your Hot Wheels, I would probably save that and just have a quick look on 164 listings on AliExpress and just see what comes up, because I guarantee you will not be disappointed. I can only apologise for the camera work today. I'm sort of learning how to do it landscape rather than portrait, but yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this kind of insight into how my mind has been working the past couple of days in terms of diecast. I'm sure there'll be comments about this. Please be gentle. And yeah, thanks very much for watching.